it's Lucia here. I'm going to hand you over to Kristen again in a second for the second part of our journey into the life of an instrumentalist. All you need today are your ears and a really strong stomach, because we're going to be doing lots of travelling. See you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Squawks. Shh! I'm not really supposed to be here, but I had to tell you what happened to me today. I came into the living room and there is this thing, this big, gigantic thing, and it has a window and buttons and all. And I press a few buttons and then a door opens and I go inside, and inside is oh so comfy with cushions and all. And this is where I'm going now to have my afternoon nap. Shh! Don't tell on me. Bye-bye. See you later.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I just grabbed a coffee from the kitchen. Did I miss anything? Good. I thought so. Then, shall we start? Hello and welcome to another video in our series Making Music with Dunedin Consort. My name is Christine, and today we continue our journey into the life of an instrumentalist. Remember, an instrumentalist is a person who plays a musical instrument. Last time I gave you a bit of an understanding about the job of a conductor. And this time I want us to take a closer look at the instruments in our orchestra. I play the violin. The instrument, called the violin, has been around for almost 500 years. Some of my colleagues will be going now, yeah, but that's nothing. My instrument has been around for much, much longer. And indeed, they found some flutes in caves in southern Germany. They are made of bone and ivory and are something like 40,000 years old. But to me, 500 years already sounds like a long time. Doesn't it to you? Imagine how many pieces of music have been written in the last 500 years. Millions, probably. By the way, what do we call a person who writes music? That's right, a composer. I want to ask you another question. Which is the oldest song that you know? I give you a second to think about that. There is obviously no right or wrong answer to that question, but I might have a surprising answer for you. Could it be this one? And no, this this is not Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It is a French children's song, first published in 1761. That was 259 years ago. This melody became so famous because 20 years later, a composer called Mozart copied it and turned it into a beautiful piece of music for piano. Listen to it on YouTube. There are plenty of recordings out there. It is so beautiful and full of life. You might feel like taking a little break and dancing around in your living room. Actually, I'm almost certain you have heard another very old piece of music before. This one. That was a melody written by composer Handel. It is the first line of his very famous Hallelujah chorus, and he wrote it about 280 years ago. See how digging in our musical past is exciting? Those melodies are fresh. They haven't lost any of their sparkle. And this is what we do, me and my colleagues from the Dunedin Consort. We are digging in our musical past. We are musical time travelers. We take a piece of written music, take our instruments, and travel in our time machine 200, 300 years back to the time this music was written. Are you ready to travel with me? Okay, let's go then. Back in that time, music was very often played in small groups. For example, as a private entertainment for the king. And there was no conductor. But one of the musicians would be directing the group while playing an instrument. Like, for example, the violin. Squawks! What are you doing here?
I don't know. I guess I was just curious.
Okay, well then you have to come with me now.
Okay.
Fine then. Let's go. A chamber in a castle. Creaky wooden floors, heavy velvet curtains, candlelight, a big chandelier hanging from the ceiling, big dark oil paintings in thick golden frames on the walls, and there, people listening to a group of musicians wearing white curly wigs and some strange clothes. Which instruments did they hear? How did these instruments sound? was my colleague Graham playing the flute so beautifully. Thank you very much, Graham. And I also asked him to send me a picture of his flute so that you can have a look at it. And no, it is not the shiny silver one that some of you might have seen before. Have a look. Graham, you can't put your flute into the dishwasher. It is made from wood. Ah, that's better. This flute is an instrument like the one people would have played 300 years ago. And how do we know this? Well, sometimes paintings can give us a clue. The next instrument is made of wood as well. I wonder if you know its name. Which instrument was that? An oboe. And Alex sent me a picture of her oboe. This one is also an instrument like they played 300 years ago. Thank you, Alex, for this beautiful sound and picture. I wonder why she put the duckies there. Oh, quite a different sound. Have you guessed it already? French horn? Almost. It is a horn. It's called a natural horn. And again, if you have seen a horn before, or maybe you play the French horn yourself, you will immediately notice the difference. This one doesn't have any vowels at all. And our brilliant horn player, Anneke, has to make the different notes just by changing the tension in her lip muscles, and she can also put her hand into the bell to change the notes. Quite a difficult one to play. Thank you, Anneke. And now, let's go back to that castle one more time. Can you see an instrument that looks a bit like a table? Someone is sitting in front of it on a chair. And if you say piano, then I say no. But you are not very far off. Let's listen to it. This is the older relative of the piano. It is called a harpsichord. A harpsichord? Have you noticed? Another instrument is hiding in that name, the harp. And how do you play the harp? You pluck the strings with your fingers. On a harpsichord, the strings are being plucked not by hand, but by a little plectrum made from quill. It is a mechanism, and all you have to do to make the strings sound is press down the keys on the keyboard. Stephen, whom you heard playing there, sent me this picture of the keys. And in this next picture that my friend Mia sent to me, you can see the entire instrument. Thank you, Stephen, and thank you, Mia. Shall we go home now?
Yes.
Why? Don't you like it here in the past?
Well, I like to be home once in a while.
Okay then, let's travel back. Okay, now while we travel back, I have a really tricky quiz for you.
Ooh, I like that. Really tricky quiz.
Squawks, why don't you wait here for me? Okay? I'll be with you in a second. In the next 5 sound clips, I have hidden an instrument that doesn't belong there. It is the odd one out. Because 300 years ago, it hadn't been invented yet. Do you think you can find it? And I also want to ask you not only to guess the names of the instruments, but also to act them out. Say you would recognize the sound of a violin. Then you need to play the air violin. Say you recognize the sound of a harpsichord. Then you need to press down the keys. But I give you a little hint. The following instruments will all be either blown into or bowed. Okay? See you in the present. And here are the answers to our quiz. The first instrument was a bassoon. You hold it like this and you blow into it. Was that a good impression of playing the bassoon, Joe? It was Joe who played for you there. Great sound, thank you very much. And here's a picture of his instrument. Ooh, Joe, remember to take that bassoon in before the bin lorry comes. The next one was a viola, part of the string family and a little bit bigger than the violin. You hold it on your shoulder and you play like that. And here's Jordan's picture. Beautiful. Thank you, Jordan. And then comes Hillary on the saxophone. It's this beautiful, shiny, golden instrument. You hold it like this and you blow into it. But 300 years ago, it hadn't been invented yet. So congratulations to everyone who guessed right. This is the odd one out. It will never be played in one of our concerts with the Dunedin Consort. But Hillary plays the violin with us. Thank you very much, Hillary, for beautiful sound and picture. Those of you who guessed cello for the next one are so close. But it was not a cello, it was a gamba. The gamba is also a bit like the older relative of the cello. It has 7 strings, not 4, and you play it almost exactly like the cello, but the bow hold is a little bit different. We've got cellos in our orchestra, but sometimes we need a gamba for special music we play. And then what happens is that one of our cellists swaps his cello for the gamba, and you'll hear that typical sweet sound. Thank you, Lucia. And the last one is the trumpet. One more brass instrument. You hold it like this and you blow into it. Remember the natural horn? This is a natural trumpet. Looks different from a modern one. No valves at all. And Paul plays different notes by changing the lip pressure and airflow through the instrument. Wow! Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, Paul. Gosh, that was a lot of guessing work. Well done. Time for some relaxing music. And if you really can't help it, then try to name some of the instruments that you might recognize. Bye for now. Happy time travels.
Where are we? Back in 2020. Thanks, Kristen, for that. And thanks to you guys for watching too. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and check back here next week for another dose of Making Music with Dunedin Consort. Bye for now.